All right, number 6. This one kind of came out. I didn't really realize this one until we started working with people on their projections, and so it's unexpected. But that is that by doing projections, you'll be able to understand what drives your cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you do a projection, and it's kind of based on last year. Maybe you change it a little bit, but so you kind of have a baseline. Then you say, okay, this is what I think my business will do. Maybe not a best case, but a reasonable case projection. So, but then you can make adjustments to it. You say, well, what happens if I start collecting my receivables 5 days faster? What will that do to my cash flow? Or what if I reduce inventory by 10%? Or what if I get some debt payments, refinance some debt or something like that? And you can see it flows all the way through to the cash flow statement, and you can see what it does to your cash. And maybe you go, holy cow, I got to put more pressure on my customers. I need to look what it does. Maybe I can reduce my line of credit by $50,000. And if I'm paying 1% a month, let's say, that's $5,000. So you might find there's some real good way. Once you understand your cash flow, you might find some things. Hey, I want to change these things about my business, and it might really help you in the performance.
I love that, and I think not only to kind of test some things, what are the key drivers, but even to be able to prioritize those things. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, let me kind of look. I can focus on one area. Either it's reducing the amount of time to get payment, it's reducing inventory, or it's hiring a VA or something, whatever that might be. You can kind of play with those things and see which one would have the biggest impact.
Right. And we enable that in ProjectionSmart because we enable you to do 3 different models.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a baseline, and then there's an optimistic version or a pessimistic version, or there's assumption A in this version, assumption B in that version. So you can compare the results and see how they make sense to you. And then the thing is, now you go to your banker and, man, are you talking intelligently about your business? You can say, I expect to reduce my AR collections by 5 days this year, which will result in X amount more cash flow. The guy's going to fall out of his chair.
Right. He's like, are you a small business owner? Really?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And I think one of the biggest things that I know, I challenge people to look at is their pricing strategy, because they're like, well, if I increase my prices, people will leave. Well, I want to ask them, I ask them, well, what percentage of people will leave? Okay, well, if you increase your prices 10%, but 20% of the people leave, what does that actually look like? You're probably going to come out way ahead. You're going to be making more money and spending less time doing it, which is what everybody wants.
Yes.
Without a tool, without any sort of a mechanism, they don't really know. They don't really understand, direct expenses. They don't understand a lot of this other stuff. And so the tool can kind of help you make those decisions, kind of sit there and play with it, right? What if? That's awesome.